12. The Tang Emperor, firmly sincere, convenes a grand mass. Guanyin, an epiphany, converts Gold Cicada. We were telling you about the demon guardian, who was leading Liu Chan and his wife out of the region of darkness. Accompanied by a swirling dark wind, they went directly back to Chang'an of the great nation. The demon pushed the soul of Liu Chan into the Golden Court Pavilion Lodge, but the soul of Celian was brought into the inner court of the royal palace. Just then the Princess Yuying was walking beneath the shadows of flowers along a path covered with green moss. The demon guardian crashed right into her and pushed her to the ground. Her living soul was snatched away and the soul of Celian was pushed into Yuying's body instead. The demon guardian then returned to the region of darkness, and we shall say no more about that. We now tell you that the maidservants of the palace, both young and old, when they saw that Yuying had fallen and died, ran quickly to the Hall of the Golden Chimes and reported the incident to the queen, saying, "The princess has fallen and died." Horrified, the queen reported it to Taizong. When Taizong heard the news, he nodded, sighing, and said, "So this has come to pass, indeed. We did ask the King of Darkness whether the old and young of our family would be safe or not. He said, they will all be safe, but I fear that your royal sister will not live long. Now his word is fulfilled." All the inhabitants of the palace came to mourn her, but when they reached the spot where she had fallen, they saw that the princess was breathing. "Stop weeping. Stop weeping," said the Tang Emperor. "Don't startle her." He went forward and lifted her head with the royal hand, crying out, "Wake up, royal sister." Our princess suddenly turned over and cried, "Husband, walk slowly. Wait for me." "Sister," said Taizong, "we are all here." Lifting her head and opening her eyes to look around, the princess said, "Who are you that you dare touch me?" "This is your royal brother," said Taizong. "And your sister-in-law." "Where do I have any royal brother and sister-in-law?" asked the princess. "My family is Li, and my maiden name is Li Tuilian. My husband's surname is Liu, and his given name is John. Both of us are from Jinzhou. Because I pulled a golden hairpin to give to a monk outside our home as alms 3 months ago, my husband rebuked me for walking indiscreetly out of our doors and thus violating the etiquette appropriate to a woman. He scolded me, and I became so enraged that I hanged myself with a white silk cord, leaving behind a pair of children who wept night and day. On account of my husband, who was sent by the Tang Emperor to the region of darkness to present melons, King Yama took pity on us and allowed us both to return to life. He was walking ahead. I could not keep up with him, tripped, and fell. How rude you all are. Not knowing my name. How dare you touch me?" When Taizong heard these words, he said to his attendants, "I suppose my sister was knocked senseless by the fall. She's babbling." He ordered that Yuying be helped into the palace and medicine be brought in from the court dispensary. As the Tang Emperor went back to the court, one of his assistants came forward to report, saying, "Your Majesty, the man Liu Chan, who went to present the melons, has returned to life. He is now outside the gate, awaiting your order." Greatly startled, the Tang Emperor at once gave the order for Liu Chan to be brought in, who then prostrated himself before the red-lacquered courtyard. Taizong asked him, "How did the presentation of melons come off?" "Your subject," said Liu Chan, "bore the melons on his head and went straight to the Gate of Spirits. I was led to the Hall of Darkness, where I met the 10 kings of the underworld. I presented the melons and spoke at length about the sincere gratitude of my lord. King Yama was most delighted, and he complimented your majesty profusely, saying that Taizong Emperor is indeed a man of virtue and a man of his word." "What did you happen to see in the region of darkness?" asked the Tang Emperor. "Your subject did not travel far," said Liu Chan. "And I did not see much. I only heard King Yama questioning me on my native village and my name. Your subject therefore gave him a full account of how I abandoned home and children because of my wife's suicide and volunteered for the mission. He quickly sent for a demon guardian, who brought in my wife, and we were reunited at the Hall of Darkness. Meanwhile, they also examined the books of life and death and told us that we both should live to a ripe old age. The demon guardian was dispatched to see us back to life. Your subject walked ahead, but my wife fell behind. I am grateful that I am now returned to life, but I do not know where my wife has gone." Alarmed, the Tang Emperor asked, "Did King Yama say anything about your wife?" "He didn't say much," said Liu Chuan. "I only heard the demon guardian's exclamation that Li Xilian had been dead for so long that her body no longer existed. King Yama said the royal sister, Li Yuying, should die shortly. Let Xilian borrow the body of Yuying so that she may return to life. Your subject has no knowledge of who that royal sister is and where she resides, nor has he made any attempt to locate her." When the Tang Emperor heard this report, he was filled with delight and said to the many officials around him, "When we took leave of King Yama, we questioned him with regard to the inhabitants of the palace. He said that the old and the young would all be safe, though he feared that our sister would not live long. Just now our sister Yuying fell dying beneath the flowers. When we went to her assistance, she regained her consciousness momentarily, crying, 'Husband, walk slowly. Wait for me.' We thought that her fall had knocked her senseless, as she was babbling like that. But when we questioned her carefully, she said exactly what Liu Chun now tells us. If Her Royal Highness passed away momentarily, only to say these things after she regained consciousness," said Wei Zheng. "This means that there is a real possibility that Liu Chun's wife has returned to life by borrowing another person's body. Let us invite the princess to come out and see what she has to tell us. We just asked the court dispensary to send in some medicine," said the Tang Emperor. "For we don't know what's happening. Some ladies of the court went to fetch the princess, and they found her inside, screaming. Why do I need to take any medicine? How could this be my house? Ours is a clean, cool house of tiles, not like this one, yellow, as if it had jaundice, and with such gaudy appointments. Let me out. Let me out." She was still shouting when 4 or 5 ladies and 2 or 3 eunuchs took hold of her and led her outside to the court. The Tang Emperor said, "Do you recognize your husband?" "What are you talking about?" said Yuying. "The two of us were pledged to each other since childhood as husband and wife. I bore him a boy and a girl. How could I not recognize him?" The Tang Emperor asked one of the palatial officials to help her go down from the treasure hall. The princess went right before the steps of white jade, and when she saw Liu Chun, she grabbed him, saying, "Husband, where have you been? You didn't even wait for me. I tripped and fell, and then I was surrounded by all these crazy people talking nonsense. What do you have to say to this?" Liu Chun heard that she was speaking like his wife, but the person he saw certainly did not resemble her, and he dared not acknowledge her to be his own. The Tang Emperor said, "Indeed. Men have seen mountains cracking, or the gaping of earth. But none has seen the living exchanged for the dead. What a just and kindly ruler." He took his sister's toilet boxes, garments, and jewelry, and bestowed them all on Liu Chun. It was as if the man was provided with a dowry. He was, moreover, exempted forever from having to engage in any compulsory service to the crown, and was told to take the royal sister back to his home. So, husband and wife together expressed their gratitude before the steps and returned happily to their village. We have a testimonial poem. How long, how short, man has his span of years. He lives and dies, each foreordained by fate. Liu Chun presented melons and returned to life. In someone's body, so did Li, his mate. The two of them took leave of the emperor, went directly back to Jingzhou, and saw that both house and children were in good order. They never ceased thereafter to proclaim the rewards of virtue, but we shall speak of them no further. We now tell you about Yu Qigong, who took a huge load of gold and silver and went to see Xiangliang at the Kaifeng district in Henan. It turned out that the man made his living by selling water, while his wife, whose surname was Zheng, sold pottery in front of their home. Whatever money they made, they kept only enough for their subsistence, giving all the rest either as alms to the monks or as gifts to the dead by purchasing paper money and burning it. They thus built up enormous merit. For though they were poor folks in the world of light, they were, in fact, leading citizens for whom jade and gold were laid up in the other world. When Yu Chugong came to their door with the gold and silver, Papa Xiang and Mama Xiang were terror-stricken. And when they also saw the district officials with their horses and carriages assembling outside their thatched hut, the aged couple were dumbfounded. They knelt on the floor and kowtowed without ceasing. "Old folks, please arise," said Yu Chugong. "Though I am an imperial official, I came here with this gold and silver to repay you by order of my king." Shaking and quaking, the man said, "Your lowly servant has never lent money to others. How dare we accept such inexplicable wealth? I have found out," said Yu Chugong, "that you are indeed a poor fellow. But you have also given alms to feed the monks.